You think you make smart money decisions, but most of them are not even yours. How many financial decisions do you think you make in a week? Checking your account and immediately closing it, leaving something in your cart for 3 days, then buying it anyway, telling yourself you will start investing next month. Every single one of those was a decision. And not one of them was as straightforward as you think it was. But here's where it gets interesting. Welcome to Wealth Reframed, where we don't just teach you about money, we change how your brain sees it. Because when the thinking changes, the money takes care of itself. Here is something that is going to be uncomfortable to hear. You think your financial decisions are mostly logical, but research shows that logic is rarely what is actually driving them. What is driving them are mental shortcuts your brain developed thousands of years ago, long before money, mortgages, or the stock market existed. And those shortcuts, psychologists call them cognitive biases, are running in the background of every single financial choice you make. Today we are covering 5 of them, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you are going to recognize yourself in at least one or probably more. Now, before we get into them, this is important. The goal of this video is not to feel bad about any of these. Every person alive has every single one of these biases. Your fund manager has them, your parents have them, the person who wrote the finance book has them. The goal is just to see them, because once you see the bias, it loses most of its power over you. So, let's go. Number 1, confirmation bias. You only see what you already believe. You have an opinion about something. Maybe crypto is the future, maybe the housing market is about to crash, maybe your instinct on a particular stock is right. And from that moment on, your brain starts collecting evidence that proves you right and quietly ignoring everything that says you are wrong. That is confirmation bias, and this is where things go wrong. You decide you want to invest in something, so you search for it online, and the results you click on are the ones that confirm it is a good idea. The ones that say it is a terrible idea, you scroll past them. You watch finance creators whose views match yours. And the ones who say something different, you never click on them. You stay in a bad investment because every piece of news you find seems to support the idea that it will recover. The evidence that it won't? You call it noise. This feels like good research, but it is not. And if you want to understand exactly why your brain does this, we covered it in depth in our last video on loss aversion. Link is in the description. The fix is 1 habit. Every time you are about to make a financial decision, deliberately search for the argument against it. Not to talk yourself out of it, just to make sure you have actually seen the full picture before you commit. Number 2, anchoring bias. The first number you see controls everything after it. You are looking at a jacket. It is marked down from $200 to $120. Feels like a deal, right? But here's the twist. What if that jacket was never worth $200 in the first place? What if $80 is actually the fair price and you just got manipulated into thinking $120 is a bargain? That is anchoring bias. And this is where the trap begins. The first number you see, the anchor sets the reference point for everything that comes after. It shows up everywhere. Salary negotiations. The employer says $50,000. Now, everything you counter with is measured against that number, even if you should have started at $65,000. Stock prices, you bought it at $100, it drops to $60. Your brain says it is cheap now because it anchors to the price you paid, not to what it is actually worth today. And this is exactly why people hold bad investments for too long. The fix. Before any purchase or negotiation, decide what something is worth to you before you see the price. Number 3, overconfidence bias. You think you are better at this than you actually are. Studies consistently show that around 80% of people believe they are above average drivers. Obviously, that is mathematically impossible. The same thing happens with money. Most people think they are better at managing money than they actually are. Most investors think they can beat the market. Most people who start businesses think they will be in the 10% that succeeds, and that overconfidence leads to very specific, very expensive mistakes. Now watch what happens next. The first mistake is trading too often. You think you can time the market, buy before it goes up, sell before it drops. Research consistently shows that the more you trade, the worse your returns get. The second mistake is putting too much in one place. You are so confident in one asset, one sector, one idea that you go all in one place, which means when it goes wrong, it really goes wrong. The third mistake is skipping the boring stuff, the emergency fund, the index fund, the slow, boring strategies. Because you think you can do better. And sometimes you can, but most of the time, the boring strategy quietly wins while you are busy looking for something more exciting. By the way, if you think none of this applies to you, that's probably the strongest sign that it does. Number 4, availability bias. What you remember most feels like what is most likely. In 2008 financial crisis, markets collapsed. People lost everything. It was everywhere in the news. For years after, millions of people refused to invest because of it. Even though markets recovered and went on to produce some of the best returns in history, that is availability bias. Your brain judges how likely something is based on how easily you can remember an example of it. Dramatic events are easy to remember, so they feel more likely to happen again than they actually are. You see a viral post about someone losing everything on a bad investment. Suddenly investing feels terrifying, even though for every one of those stories there are 1,000 quiet stories of people who invested consistently and built real wealth. You hear about someone getting scammed. Suddenly every financial opportunity looks like a scam. The news amplifies everything negative about money because fear gets more clicks, and your brain uses that amplified fear to make your financial decisions for you. The fix is to make decisions based on data, not on what you most recently saw on your feed. Before any major financial decision, ask yourself, am I reacting to a pattern or am I reacting to a headline? Number 5, Dunning-Kruger effect. The less you know, the more confident you feel. This one is the most dangerous and probably the most relatable. When you first start learning about money or investing, something interesting happens. You learn a little bit, and you feel like you understand a lot. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect. The less you actually know about something, the more confident you feel about it. Because you do not yet know enough to know what you do not know. You watch 5 YouTube videos about crypto, and suddenly you feel ready to put in serious money. You read 1 book about investing, and you think you have figured out what professional traders have missed. You learn about one strategy, and it seems so obvious that you go all in. And then reality arrives. The antidote to Dunning-Kruger is not to stop being confident. It is to stay curious longer than feels comfortable. The people who build real wealth are almost never the ones who were the most confident at the beginning. They are the ones who stayed humble long enough to actually understand what they were doing. Before any major financial move, ask yourself honestly, how much do I actually know about this? Not how much have I read. How much do I actually understand well enough to explain to someone else? If you cannot explain it simply, you probably do not understand it well enough to bet money on it. These were the 5 different ways your brain is working against your financial goals. But here is the thing they all have in common. None of them feel like biases when they are happening. Confirmation bias feels like good research. Anchoring feels like finding a deal. Overconfidence feels like self-belief. Availability bias feels like learning from the past. Dunning-Kruger feels like finally getting it. They all feel like clarity when they are actually noise. The only way to catch them is to build the habit of questioning your own certainty, especially when you feel most sure. So here's what to actually do with this. You are not going to memorize 5 psychological terms and suddenly make perfect financial decisions. That is not how any of this works. But here is what does work. Pick 1 bias from this list that you recognized in yourself. The one that made you think, okay, that is definitely me. And for the next week, every time you are about to make a financial decision, ask yourself 1 question. Is this bias showing up right now? You do not need to fix all 5, you just need to start catching one. Do these 3 things this week. 1. Pick the 1 bias you recognized most. Write it down somewhere you will actually see it. 2. Before your next significant financial decision, pause for 30 seconds and ask which of these 5 might be influencing you. 3. Find 1 person in your life who thinks differently about money than you do. Their disagreement is more valuable than 10 people who agree. If even one of these felt like you, you're exactly who this channel is for. So subscribe and share this with someone who needs it. Drop in the comments which of the 5 biases hit closest to home for you. Next week on Wealth Reframed, we are doing something different. There is a book that has sold over 4 million copies. It is called The Psychology of Money. Next week, we go through the 5 ideas from that book that will completely change how you see your own financial decisions. Subscribe so you do not miss it when it drops next week.